Grits and greens with brown butter Cajun shrimp. Don't throw away those New Year's greens because this is the perfect dish to use your leftovers before you start your New Year's resolution diet. Let's get started, friends. Let's start with 1 cup of uncooked grits. I love this company. Palmetto Farms are from South Carolina. I like to pick up a bag when I go to Charleston. To the 1 cup of uncooked grits, I added 4 cups of chicken stock instead of water and a teaspoon of salt. This just adds more flavor. And I brought it to a simmer. Now you can use quick grits here too. That'll be just fine. But I just had these grits on hand, so that's what I chose. And the thing with grits, even though I followed the directions on the back of the bag, I end up having to add more water or stir. I did try to follow the directions in the beginning, and it said to bring to a simmer and add a lid. But I noticed about 3 to 5 minutes later, I needed to add 2 more cups of chicken stock, and it's starting to stick. So I had to stir and stir and stir and stir to keep it from sticking on the bottom. I want these grits to be creamy and cheesy, so to this I'm going to add half a cup of heavy cream and 1 cup of Gouda. Stir to incorporate. Can you believe that when I was a kid, I wouldn't even touch grits? Now I love them, and I love to create different meals with them. And this grits and greens recipe will blow your mind. It is so delicious. Let's add about another teaspoon of salt. I like to use kosher salt. It's usually what I have on hand, and some fresh ground pepper. About half a teaspoon. Let's stir this up. And see that the consistency should be like oatmeal, nice and creamy. Take a separate spoon and do a taste test as well to make sure it's seasoned the way you like. Now everybody in my family fights over who has the best collard greens, and I have to say I have turned some collard green haters into collard green lovers. So I'm pretty proud of my collard greens. They are so good. Nope, they are the best. I'm straining the pot liquor off of 2 cups of leftover greens that I had from New Year's. Don't discard that pot liquor. It is a great soup base. I'm also patting it dry to get as much liquid out as I possibly can. I'm returning back to the grits and adding 3/4 cups of Parmesan cheese and 1 stick of butter. Let's stir it up and get that butter melted. Your mouth should be watering right about now. I think all this stirring is hypnotizing me. Melting this butter. It's so beautiful. Let's take a 9x13 casserole dish and add our strained greens, and then pour those beautiful grits on top. Let's stir just a little bit more. Mix those greens and grits together. Let's say you don't have any leftover greens. That's okay. You can take some frozen greens and cook them in chicken stock and flavor them for about 25 minutes and then add them to your grits as well. Let's add a little hot sauce. I have Crystal on hand, plus others, but my husband loves Crystal the best, so that's what I tend to go for. And I'm going to top with about 6 slices of pre-cooked bacon. I made brunch earlier in the day, so I fried some extra bacon and it was ready to go for the casserole tonight. Now it's time to place your casserole into a 350-degree preheated oven. About 25 to 30 minutes later, it'll be nice and bubbly and golden brown on top. You can stop right here and make this a side, or you can go a step further and make this a main dish. To a hot cast iron, add 4 tablespoons of butter. Cook the butter until it starts to change to a golden brown. I have a pound of clean shrimp that I've added olive oil and Cajun seasoning to, and I'm going to add it to this very hot brown butter. like to use a cast iron skillet here because I can get the pan super hot. We're going to cook each shrimp about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, so I space them out. Flip them over about after 2 to 3 minutes till there's a nice crisp outside. I want the tails to curl, and I want no pink left. Y'all, it's time to plate these beauties. I'm going to take a giant bowl. I'm going to scoop out that wonderful grits and greens casserole and top it with these lovely Cajun shrimp. Whoa, I'm a little excited. I'm trying to show you, but I almost might tip it out. Let's top it with some parsley and some fresh squeezed lemon juice. I present to you your last meal before your diet. Bon appetit.